I did not abandon you. But if you didn't notice I was gone, I'm not offended. Thought we'd get together, pull some cards. There's a lot going on, right? We'll get into it. Maybe not all today. Maybe not all of this video, but we'll get into it. So welcome. It's been a while, I know. Like I said, we'll get into it. Alright. Let's just pull a few cards here. Talk for a little bit, get reacquainted. By the way, I have new equipment, so things might be changing a little bit. We're going old school till I figure everything out, so just bear with me. Alright, so let's take a look. So we're looking at the future, or something that might come for us. So we've got, here, let's take a look. Got the Ten of Wands. This can mean different things to me at different times. Sometimes it's a harvest, sometimes it's a burden. We'll see what's going on. Sometimes this is something that we can't see, even though it might be right in front of our face, and it's sometimes self-imposed, why we can't see it. And then we have Ten of Cups right in the middle there, and the moon upside down. I like it when the moon's upside down, because when the moon's upright, sometimes it's just, we're not telling you. So we'll see what that is. And then King of Pentacles. So let's see here. I'm already getting this picture of somebody working fairly hard. Maybe not 100% intentionally. Maybe some of it was going on behind the scenes, like automatically, or possibly circumstances were, I guess the word that came to my mind was forging them into something to bring them closer to what they wanted. They didn't maybe necessarily know what they wanted, or they didn't 100% know that was happening for them at the time. But not only was it bringing them closer to what they wanted, but it's bringing them closer to who they want to be. Let's pull some more cards. See if I get anything else off of this row. Alright, so I haven't really had a chance to double check all of this. My grandson left his Pokemon cards here. But we're not supposed to be showing naked people, I guess. So, Pokemon to the rescue here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. She's not really naked, but I don't care about it that much to make it a big deal and go, I'm just going to put naked people on my table. We'll just see what's going on. There's a lot of information, not just, about what's allowed on videos, but there's a lot of information on videos about just what's going on, and a lot of it's bullshit. Hate to say it like that. This was actually this way. But, yeah, for a long time, there's been a lot of information coming at you, coming at us, that sometimes seems real, but it's just not. Sometimes it's very, very clear. It's very obvious. And sometimes it's not. And so I guess since we're having the conversation here, especially around this time, or this time, meaning during this time in our planet, pay attention to what you feel about what you're hearing. Because if it's triggering you, just keep in mind that it may not be true, that it's supposed to trigger you for different reasons, a lot of different reasons, depending on who you are, what's going on, and what the trigger is, and what it's about, as far as like the subject matter itself. Yeah. So on that bottom row, we have the Star. We're not going to show her. We have that Five of Swords. Five of Swords. This one, the picture is just, it's coming off a little different to me. So, okay, so we have that, and then we also have the Seven of Swords, which sometimes is lying, cheating, stealing, but not 100% picking that up like that. And then we got another 7 here, 7 of Cups. It's coming off a little bit like choices, and then we have our Strength card. So, yeah, I kind of feel like, okay, from this top row we were talking about sort of being forged into who we are and kind of where we're going. And then down here on this side here, we what we are becoming is bigger than what we can anticipate or what we can think of. We don't understand it. We are the star, but we can't even barely acknowledge ourselves as the King of Pentacles, let alone the star, right? Which it's we are both and we are each, like we are either and both together. For the 5 and the 7 of Swords here, I feel like we've made some choices. Maybe some that we weren't necessarily happy with. Yeah, this is why this card is hitting me funny, because sometimes this card is just like they're kind of like fighting. And in some decks, the 5 of Swords to me is like fighting, and then like the 5 of Wands sometimes is almost more like a banter, or it can be fighting, but it's kind of like being mean, but like in an underhanded way. This card is kind of more coming off as like almost like the fight, like, and it almost looks like we're fighting who we're becoming, or we're trying to fight who we're becoming. It's kind of like the lying, cheating, where we're trying to like not cheat ourselves out of it, but we're trying to like maybe cheat our way through it, or you know, in some sense win without actually having to fight the battle here. Because we know that we don't have to do things always the same way. In other words, what we've been through has taught us that there's not necessarily one way. That, for example, maybe we were trying to do something and then somebody told us, oh, well, you have to do that this way. This is the way to do it. And we did it and we failed. And then we see that other people had what we were trying to get. So we're like, well, that wasn't the way to do it, or that wasn't the way to do it for me. So there's obviously other ways to do it, or there's another way to do it for me, or other people are doing it a different way. So down here, this is us kind of saying, you know what, you know, I'm not sure if I want to fight this particular battle. I might want to do this with my swords. Or, you know, I, again, might not want to fight any battle. Or I might want to just take my swords. Or I might want to just steal my swords, you know. In which case, the swords are whatever they are to you. A lot of times for swords, for air, you know, it could be like an idea, something that's going on in your head. So it could even be you fighting to hold on to some of your beliefs that aren't even conducive to who you're becoming. And then, like I said, we have choices. So we always have choices. Even when we become something that we don't want to be and we want to blame others, we've made the choice to become that. At some point, we let it happen. So the choices are here, even if we don't feel like we have a choice. And then sometimes those choices require strength, because we need to understand that where we're going, even if we're growing, because we don't always have to be uncomfortable just in bad situations. We can be uncomfortable in good situations, and sometimes it causes us to go in the other direction, because we don't want to face the thing that's going to bring us our happiness, because sometimes it's scary to change the way things are or the way we're going to behave to try to get there, because we don't know what we're going to get in the end. Let's pull a few more cards. Hoping to shoot maybe more readings, but like smaller, shorter, and then maybe shoot more shorter videos that are longer so we can kind of get more different stuff out. And again, I want to be more looking towards the future, not necessarily something that has happened in the past that we have to heal from. A lot of the older videos are like that. So if you're looking for that, check out some of those older videos. All right, so this one came out first, this Page of Cups here. So put that one over here, and then this is that 4 of Wands. I'll show it in a second. Let me get some other cards here. These are, I actually have 2 decks together here. I usually tell you guys what I'm using, but I've been messing around with these for so long. The Colorful Neon Tarot deck is the one that's down, and then this is a mixture of the Neon Awakening and, oh, I forgot what deck this was. All right, I'll put it in the description like I always do. Let's get 3 more cards. 3 more cards for, okay, I got 2. Oh, no, I got 3. What is that? 5 of Cups and Ace of Cups. 3 Wands, the 4 of Wands. Where is this again? The Page of Cups. Okay, so yeah, I'm picking up love here. Not necessarily love in that, oh, like love's coming towards you. You know, it might be. But what I do see is this person that you're becoming, that we were talking about, is attracting someone that is trying to bring you what you want. We've got the Four of Wands and we've got the Ten of Cups here. And then we've got the Ace of Cups. So this is, to me, something that you have never seen before as far as love goes. We have this Five of Cups here, which is Scorpio energy, typically with this betrayal, loss. And we can almost say something about this Seven of Swords here. But again, I think this is just saying part of like what we've gone through. You know, I've spent a little bit of time in different energies, and I really truly understand now why the tarot card readings are so general. We might get into it later, but you know, like everybody says, take it as it resonates. Not every reading is going to be yours, and nor should it. But you know, even if it's not your reading, there might always be a message in it. And so even like I say, in this day and age, like keep your ears open. You know, believe nothing of what you see and half of what you hear. So yeah, this person that you're becoming is getting closer in vibration to what you want. Like I said, even if you don't know what that is necessarily, but that thing is moving towards you, and it's moving towards you, you know, in the way of love. It could be a person. In the beginning, I picked up a person, but it could also be a communication. It could be, you know, anything. If you're not looking to be in a relationship, it could just be, you know, a rekindling of a friendship, you know, with a family member or something like that. Everything is a relationship, and you know, love. I was going to say experience itself in many ways, but that's not really what I meant. But that is kind of what I meant. You know, there's many forms of love, and we all experience it a little bit different depending on sometimes our beliefs and things that we want to bring with us. So I think the message basically here is, if you feel like you're changing and you don't know where you're changing to, and you don't know what you're going towards, I don't know that you necessarily need to worry about that, especially if it's happening automatically. Something that you're not necessarily doing yourself, even if you're doing a little bit of shadow work and it's kind of changing you. You know, sometimes you just got to kind of go along for the ride. I've said it before on this channel that you're not changing, you know, you're not changing into anything. You're changing back into what you are. You're remembering who you are. When you get to the point where certain things don't bother you, you get to the point where you're not going to experience certain things anymore because you either know how to get out of it or you know how to not get in it in the first place. And again, this changing is going to occur, I think, with or without your like immediate help. Like obviously you have to be involved in some way. You have to accept the change in some way. And of course, if you wanted to be in a relationship, you have to accept that relationship in some way. You can't be rejective of it or any part of this thing that has to happen for the two of you to come together to share, you know, to be able to share that vibration enough to be able to connect. So, and it's not necessarily going to be extremely easy for you. It kind of never is when you change from something into something that's totally different. And I don't even want to get into, I mean, just think of shades of color, you know, depending on how much yellow or whatever you want to add changes that color into a totally different color. And that color has a name. Look up cerulean. So, you know, it's okay to experience that in whatever way you want to. If you're uncomfortable, you can move forward in a way that is uncomfortable, but keep yourself open for these cups because they do want to come. And I've said it before, you can block yourself from this just by denying certain things about yourself, about who you're turning into that's matching this other person, or just the rejection of this person in general. I mean, it could happen, especially if you're not paying attention. So like I said, pay attention, keep your eyes open, stay open to what's coming towards you if it's positive. Obviously, if it's not, I think by this time you might already know how to kick it to the curb, but if not, you're going to figure it out real fast. And keep this in mind until we meet again.